Welcome, little listeners, to Tiny Tales Wondercast, your cozy corner for gentle bedtime stories for kids. Settle in, snuggle close, and listen with your brightest quiet. Tonight we visit the pond Junior loves so much. The stars are ready, the water waits, and Alderwise is here to share a story about how listening can change everything.
I am Alderwise, the old oak who has watched this pond for many long evenings. I have seen ripples carry secrets. I have seen voices grow sharp. And I have seen one small frog try to mend it all with a simple choice. Listen now and rest. The story of Junior and the ripple of respect begins. Junior loved his pond. In the early mornings, he sat on his favorite lily pad, watching soft rings spread from each gentle hop. The air felt cool. The birds shared quiet songs. Every sound had space. Lately that peace was gone. Frogs shouted over one another. Splashing feet smacked the water. Arguments bounced across the reeds. No one waited. No one heard. The ripples crashed together in a tangled mess, and Junior felt something tight in his chest each time another voice vanished inside the noise. One evening, as the sky turned deep blue, Junior sat at the edge of the pond. Croaky pushed past him, loud and restless. Another frog shouted a joke before the first one had finished. Two tadpoles tried to speak, and their words broke apart in the rush. Junior whispered more to the water than to anyone else. "It is too loud to feel you." The pond did not answer, but the surface shivered. A single firefly drifted by, its light steady. Junior watched the glow and thought about how one small light was clearest when the night stayed calm. When the first stars appeared, his choice was ready. His legs trembled, yet he climbed onto an old smooth log in the center of the pond. The ripples from his jump moved outward in clean circles. "Friends," called Junior, his voice bright but careful. "Can we try something?" No one stopped. Voices rolled on. Croaky snorted. "Sit down, Junior." Loud winds. Junior took a slow breath. His heart knocked, but he stayed standing. "Loud is easy," he said. "Listening is harder. I miss knowing what you feel. I miss your stories. I miss the songs." A small frog near the reeds lifted her head. The tadpoles peeked out from behind a stone. The firefly hovered over Junior's head like a patient star. Junior pointed at the water. "Look at the ripples when we all shout at once." They watched. The surface shook. No ring could reach the shore. "Now we wait," Junior said softly. "I will speak. Then I stop. Then Croaky. Then you. One at a time. Let each ripple reach the edge." He spoke one simple sentence. "I am glad you are here with me." His words touched the water. One voice, one circle widening all the way to the bank. The frogs felt the quiet that followed. It was not empty. It felt kind. Croaky cleared his throat. "I am tired," he muttered. "I was afraid no one heard me." His ripples followed Junior's and slipped beside them. The small frog by the reeds spoke next. The tadpoles tried a few shy words. One by one, the pond shared. Between each voice, a gentle pause. Junior listened. He nodded. The tightness in his chest faded like mist in morning light. The night grew deeper. Fireflies moved over calm water. Voices settled into quiet hums. The last ripples smoothed into silver. Respect, Junior thought, is not being the biggest sound. It is leaving room for every voice that matters. He slid back onto his lily pad. Stars shone in the pond, clear and bright. The frogs curled close on leaves and stones. Even Croaky slept with a softer face. I watched from my roots and felt peace rest over Tiny Tail's land. Now close your eyes and listen to the gentle water as it carries you toward our next tale, where another small friend will learn a new way to care. As the pond grew quiet and the frogs rested after their night of listening, I watched the ripples fade into smooth silver. Respect had settled there for a while. Yet the world keeps testing what we learn, and Junior was about to meet another small lesson. The next evening, when the sky was pale and the first star yawned awake, Junior hopped along the bank near my roots. His toes brushed something smooth. He paused and pushed aside a blade of grass. Nestled in the earth lay a pebble so bright it caught every drop of moonlight. It was small and round and cool, with a soft white shimmer that looked like night on still water. "Wow," Junior whispered. "You are perfect." He picked it up and pressed it to his chest. The shine made him feel taller. As he crossed the meadow, fireflies turned their gentle lights. Junior lifted the pebble high. "Look at this," he called to the quiet air. "No one has a pebble like mine." Each time he said mine, his voice grew a little louder. The meadow sounds thinned. Somewhere nearby, an owl fluffed her feathers at the noise. Snoggle bounced into view, ears wobbly, eyes bright. "You found something, Junior. Can I see it?" Junior felt a prick of worry that someone else might not treat it the way he did. Pride stepped in front of respect. "Number, you will drop it. You trip all the time." Snoggle stopped. His smile slipped away. "I try to be careful," he said in a small voice. Junior hopped on without looking back. The word mine beat in his head like a drum. For a while it sounded strong. Then the beat felt hollow. By the time he reached my trunk, the pebble still glowed, yet the evening felt colder. "Alderwise," he called, lifting it up. "Look at my pebble. It is the best in Tiny Tail's land." I watched the way his fingers curled so tight that no one could share even a glimpse. "I see a bright pebble," I said. "I also see a friend you pushed away. A pebble can lose its shine when pride covers it. Respect is a kinder cloth. Try polishing with that." Junior frowned and sat among my roots. "It is already clean," he muttered. "Not the stone," I told him. "Your way of holding it." Night rose around us. Crickets played a soft tune. Junior rolled the pebble in his palm. He saw how the light spread farther when his hand opened. He remembered Snoggle's face when he turned away. "What if he thinks I do not like him?" Junior whispered. The pebble did not answer, but the shimmer seemed duller. Junior looked up at the moon. "Snoggle," he whispered. "I am sorry." Morning came in a gentle blue. Dew clung to the grass. Junior walked toward the pond with the pebble resting on his open hands, not squeezed in his fist. Snoggle waited on a flat stone, eyes cautious. "I was wrong," Junior said. "I liked feeling special more than I liked being kind. Will you look at it with me?" He held the pebble out, so both of them could see the glow. "It is beautiful," Snoggle breathed. Junior set the pebble down between them on the warm stone. "Let us share it. We can leave it here where the light finds it. We can visit together." The sun touched the pebble. The white grew warmer, and for a moment the glow seemed to wrap them both. Respect, Junior learned, was not locking treasure away. It was making room for a friend beside it. Laughter rose soft and easy. The pond breeze carried it to my branches. The pebble stayed where any kind heart could enjoy its shine. Rest now, little listener. Hold this thought as sleep comes close. The brightest things grow gentler when shared. Have you ever seen someone smile while their eyes look a little rainy inside? After the pebble found its place between two friends, the days around the pond grew warm and bright. Junior and Snoggle visited the shared stone each morning. They watched how the light touched it, how it never truly belonged to one alone. I watched them too. Their voices were softer now, their laughter kinder. Yet one evening, I noticed something else. Snoggle arrived later than usual. His hop was slower, his ears drooped. When Junior pointed at the Pebble and chattered about a new game, Snoggle smiled, but the smile did not reach his eyes. "Snoggle," Junior said, "are you tired?" "I'm fine," Snoggle answered quickly. "Just clumsy." He stumbled over a twig and laughed too loudly. Junior laughed with him. The moment passed like a leaf on the stream. Night rose. Fireflies woke. The frogs settled. Snoggle sat alone on a flat stone, shoulders small. From my roots I felt a pinch in the air. This was not the bounce I knew. "Snoggle," I called in a gentle voice only he could hear clearly. "Come here for a moment." He padded across the grass and leaned against my trunk. "Alderwise," he said, "I am just silly. I fall. I drop things. I do not want to bother anyone." He twisted his paws together. "Did something happen?" I asked. Snoggle thought of the day before, when a group of older frogs had laughed as he slipped in the mud. He had pretended to laugh with them so they would not see it hurt. He had said nothing to Junior. He did not want to spoil the game or dim the Pebble. "Sometimes," I said softly, "the ones who fall are also the ones who notice every small ache in others. That is not silly. That is tender." Snoggle looked up. "How do I help without making trouble?" I let a small branch lower. From it hung a tiny round lantern made of woven twigs and clear sap. Inside glowed the soft light of trapped dusk. "Take this," I told him. "It will only shine when you stand close to someone who is hiding a heavy feeling. Not to shame them, only to remind you to stay." Snoggle cupped the lantern. The light was pale and kind. The next day at the pond, Junior hopped fast and bright, planning a new race along the stones. "Snoggle, see if you can beat me this time." Snoggle started to nod, then saw a little frog near the reeds. Her hands were tight around her knees. Her mouth tried for a smile and then forgot how. In Snoggle's paws, the lantern gave the faintest glow. He hesitated. "Junior," he called. "Wait a moment." He went to the frog at the reeds and sat beside her without a word. He set the lantern down between them. The glow steadied. "Are you all right?" he asked softly. She shook her head. "They said my splash is wrong," she whispered, "that I am too quiet." Snoggle listened. He did not rush. He did not say, "It is nothing." He let her finish every small broken sentence. "I fall a lot," he said at last. "Sometimes they laugh. It stings. But you can share that sting with me." He nudged the lantern closer. "When I see this light, I remember to stay and listen." Junior watched from the stones. The race in his mind slowed. He saw the way the lantern lit two faces at once. "Can I sit with you?" Junior asked. They made space. 3 frogs shared the soft circle. No one tried to fix everything at once. They simply sat, and the pond sounds wrapped around them. The lantern did not belong to Snoggle alone, nor to hurt, nor to any grand promise. It was a reminder. Care can be quiet. You do not always need big words. Sometimes you only need to stay near, listen, and let another heart rest without fear. As the sun slipped down and the first stars opened, the lantern's light faded into the natural glow of evening. It did not vanish. It moved inside the ones who had sat there. So, little listener, when you notice a wobble in a smile, remember Snoggle and his gentle lantern. You can be that light just by staying close. Breathe slow now. Our next soft tale will drift from this pond and this tree to another corner of Tiny Tales Land, where a different friend will learn another way to care. Have you ever lost something special and felt your chest pinch tight? as if the whole day had slipped away with it. The morning in Tiny Tail's land began with quiet gold. Sunlight rested on the tops of the trees. Dew clung to the tall grass. I listened from my place at the edge of the forest as Leafy twirled into the clearing, ready to greet the day. Her paws went first to her neck, where a bright ribbon usually rested. It was the color of the first warm rays at dawn. Her lucky ribbon, her brave ribbon, the one she wore when she wanted to feel like herself. Her paws met bare fur. Leafy froze. "My ribbon," she whispered. She checked the smooth stone where she folded it at night. Empty. She peered into her burrow. Only blankets and a stray leaf. She looked under roots and between mushrooms. She even circled my trunk, ears flicking, whiskers tense. "Gone," she sighed. "It is gone." Her chest felt both hot and hollow. Thoughts crowded in. Maybe someone took it. Maybe they did not care. Maybe they knew it was my favorite. The forest held its breath. A small wind lifted the leaves above her head, as if waiting to see which feeling she would feed. Then Leafy noticed a flicker of pale wings behind a low leaf near my roots. A tiny moth shape, very still, hiding. Leafy stepped closer, on quiet paws. Flutter, Flutter the little moth peeked out. Around one delicate wing, looped and twisted, was a strip of bright sunrise color. Leafy's ribbon. Flutter flinched. "I'm sorry," she whispered at once. "I only wanted to feel pretty. I thought I would put it back before you saw. Then I was scared. Then I hid." Leafy stared. The pinch in her chest sharpened. This ribbon was special. She had worn it on days when she felt small, when she needed courage to talk, when she helped friends at the pond. Someone had taken it without asking. "You took it," Leafy said. Her voice trembled. Flutter's wings shivered. "I know. I should not have. I did not think you would miss it so much. I only wanted to know how it feels to glow. I am sorry." She braced herself for scolding words, for the sharp crack of anger that sometimes follows fear. Silence stretched between them. I felt the whole forest lean in. Leafy saw the way the ribbon sat crooked on Flutter's wing, trying to be a cape, trying to be special. She saw how small Flutter was, how brave it must have felt to borrow beauty even for a moment. Leafy took a slow breath. "You do look pretty," Leafy said. Flutter blinked, surprised. "But it was wrong to take it without asking," Leafy added, her voice steady now. "I love this ribbon. It helps me feel like me." Flutter's eyes filled. "I will give it back," she whispered. "You can be cross. I understand." Leafy reached out. Gently she unwound the ribbon from Flutter's wing, careful not to tug. The color flashed in the morning light. She could hold it tight. She could turn away. She could choose a wall. Instead, she looked at Flutter for a long, quiet moment. "Next time," Leafy said, "just ask." She smiled. A real one, not thin or forced. She folded the ribbon and then, slowly, placed it soft across Flutter's head like a bright bow. "We can share it, some mornings on me, some evenings on you. We can call it our brave ribbon." Flutter touched the bough with one tiny foot. "You would share it," she breathed. "Kindness makes things brighter," Leafy said, "not smaller." The trees seemed to shimmer. Light slipped through every leaf in a gentle pattern. Even the wind sounded pleased as it moved through my branches. I let my leaves rustle in quiet approval. Kindness, I thought, is respect wrapped in warmth. It turns hurt into blooming. Leafy and Flutter walked together into the clearing, the ribbon shining between them on different days, carrying the same gentle promise. Now rest your eyes, little listener. Hold the picture of that shared ribbon in your thoughts. As Leafy and Flutter walked together with their shared brave ribbon, the forest held a softer glow. Kindness had mended what could have broken. Yet some mornings in Tiny Tails Land still woke up heavy, with quiet skies and sleepy light. On one such grey morning, another lesson stirred, not about sharing things, but about waking joy with gentle mischief. Have you ever had a morning where the sky felt tired and it made your heart feel heavy for no clear reason? That morning in Tiny Tails Land, the light came late. The clouds sat low and pale. Birds spoke in soft, short songs, and even the breeze seemed to curl up and doze. From my roots I watched the forest yawn. Snoggle blinked awake in his burrow and listened. No bright chatter, no rustle of Leafy dancing, no splash from Junior. Just quiet and the long sigh of a grey day. "It feels sleepy," he murmured. "Sleepy on the outside and sleepy in my tummy." For a moment he wanted to snuggle back under his blanket and let the gloom win. Then a small spark inside him answered, "If joy will not come to us, we can wake it." Snoggle popped out of his burrow. The air tasted dull. The trees waited. He looked at one wide leaf on the ground. Hat, he decided. He folded it and placed it on his head. It flopped over one ear. He giggled. The sound was tiny but real. Next he gathered more leaves and tied them into wobbly hats for anyone who might pass. He found acorns and dipped them in puddles of soft berry juice until they looked like little painted bells. He shook them. They made a faint clack that wanted to be music. He padded to my trunk and tapped gently on my roots. Tap, tap, tap. "Careful, Snoggle," I rumbled, but my voice held a smile. "It is a parade," he said. "A very small one. A Giggle parade." Junior hopped by, shoulders low. "It is so grey," Junior sighed. "The pond feels like it forgot how to sparkle." Snoggle puffed his cheeks. No, it did not forget. It is waiting. He plopped a leaf hat on Junior's head. It slipped sideways. Junior blinked, then snorted. The painted acorns clacked in his hands. "What is this?" he asked. "A Giggle parade," Snoggle replied. "We walk, we tap, we shake. We remind the day how to smile." Junior paused. The gloom tugged him one way. The wobble of the hat tugged another. He chose the wobble. "I will join," he said. They walked past my roots, tapping gentle rhythms. Tap, tap, clack, clack. Their steps were not loud, they were playful. Leafy appeared at the edge of the path, ribbon tied bold and bright. "What are you doing?" she asked, whiskers twitching. Snoggle threw a handful of flower petals in the air. "We are waking joy." Leafy laughed and tossed her own petals higher. They fell like tiny suns. She trotted beside them, shaking more coloured acorns, humming a little tune. Nibbleton the squirrel watched from a log, nose twitching, tail drooped by the lazy sky. "You all look very silly," Nibbleton said. "Yes," Snoggle agreed. "It feels better than looking tired." Leafy offered Nibbleton a leaf hat. Junior clicked a rhythm. Snoggle wiggled his toes in an exaggerated dance. Nibbleton tried not to smile. His mouth lost that battle. He hopped up on the log and added a spin. The others cheered softly. Not wild, not noisy. Just enough to nudge the air. Around them something shifted. A bird tried a longer song. A branch dropped a single ray of pale light on Snoggle's leaf hat. Even the clouds seemed to thin a little at the edges, curious about the sound below. Their parade zigzagged through the clearing. No one demanded laughter. They simply offered it in small pieces. A funny step, a shared petal, a painted acorn that slipped and made everyone gasp and then giggle when it did not break. Joy, the forest remembered, does not always arrive as a gift from the sky. Sometimes it grows from tiny choices made by brave small friends who refuse to leave the day empty. By the time the sun finally pushed through the grey, it found the forest already bright. Snoggle looked up at the light. "You were slow," he told it with a grin. "We started without you." The sun laid a warm stripe across his face in quiet praise. As evening came, the leaf hats rested on branches. The painted acorns lay in a small pile by my roots. The friends curled in their homes, hearts lighter, minds ready for sleep. Remember this, little listener. On heavy days you do not have to shout or dance in every street. A small kind joke, a shared game, a gentle parade of comfort for one friend can wake joy for many. Breathe slowly now. Our next soft tale will drift toward another corner of Tiny Tales Land, where truth and courage will glow as gently as this laughter. As the leaf hats dried on my branches and the painted acorns rested in a small pile by my roots, the forest sighed with sleep. Snoggle had woken a grey morning with laughter, and he had learned that joy can rise on a slow day. Yet a gentler question waited. Could joy stay kind when the world needed rest? Have you ever tried to fall asleep while your own thoughts jump like frogs that forget how to land? The enchanted forest grew dark and silver. Fireflies drifted in slow paths. Owls shifted on branches. Leaves whispered. It was time for soft paws and closed eyes. Snoggle did not feel sleepy. The memory of the Giggle parade still fizzed inside his chest. Joy means fun, he thought. If I stop, maybe the smiles will fade. He bounced from his burrow with a little drum made from bark and twine. He tapped a quick rhythm. Tap, tap, tap. Lights flickered in nearby burrows. A hedgehog peeked out. "Snoggle," he mumbled. "I am trying to sleep." "Sorry," Snoggle said, yet his feet still twitched. He hurried to the pond where Junior sat on a stone, watching the stars. Snoggle juggled 3 acorns. "Night show," he cried. "Look at this." One acorn slipped and plopped into the water. The splash startled a nesting bird. Wings beat. Ripples broke the star shapes on the pond. Junior flinched. "I like your shows," he said softly, "but my eyes are heavy. I wanted a quiet night." Snoggle stopped. His chest pinched. "Maybe I am too much," he thought. He crept through the trees until he reached my trunk. He sank down and hugged his knees. "Alderwise," he whispered. "When I am silly, they laugh. When I am silly at night, they sigh. If I stop, what if the joy stops too?" I let my leaves sway. "Joy is not only drums and parades," I said. "Night asks for another kind of joy, one that holds hearts instead of shaking them. You do not have to vanish to be gentle. Guide the laughter into rest." Snoggle frowned. "I do not know how." "Then ask," I told him. "Ask what their tired hearts need." Snoggle chewed his lip, then padded back to the pond. Junior sat with his chin on his paws. "Sorry about the splash," Snoggle said. "Do you want a show or something different?" Junior watched the dark water. "I want a story," he said, "one that feels like a blanket." A small voice from the bushes added, "Me too." Leafy stepped out, ribbon loose. "Me 3, she said. "We want you with us. Maybe a quieter kind of you." Snoggle felt the tightness loosen. "I can try," he said. He looked toward my shape against the stars. Alderwise, will you tell one? I have many, I answered. Snoggle faced his friends. Come sit close, he said. Bring your softest listening. They gathered by my roots, Junior on his stone, Leafy curled close, Flutter on a leaf, Nibbleton with his tail wrapped round, Snoggle in the middle. Night wrapped them in cool air and cricket song. I spoke of a river that shone like silver thread, of leaf boats that carried sleepy wishes, of hearts who followed quiet light home. The words moved slow, a path that grew softer. Snoggle watched, eyes drooped, shoulders eased. The giggles inside him settled into a warm glow. I did this, he thought. I chose quiet, and joy stayed. A breeze slid through as the story reached its end. I let the last images rest in the air like feathers. Snoggle whispered, "Thank you, Alderwise." He turned to his friends. "Sleep well," he said. One by one they nestled down. Junior by the stone, Leafy under a branch, Flutter beneath a petal, Nibbleton in the crook of a root, Snoggle where he sat. No drum, only the echo of the story. Joy, he understood, could be a quiet circle where no one felt alone. Little listener, breathe slow with them. Let your thoughts settle like leaves on gentle water. The enchanted forest watches over you. The night story is finished, and you are safe.